Hey everyone, I'm Rather Incoherent, back with more heavily modded XCOM 2. Going into Operation Wandering Fear, a moderate difficulty neutralized target mission. This will get us a facility lead. We need those to go attack alien bases that aren't actually in our territory. This mission was really very optional. It's part of why we're under so much roster strain right now, is I wanted to get this out of the way so I'd never be worried about not having one in the future. Coming over to the squad I sent, I'm very worried about this. We have a field medic with no notable gear. We have an assault who is kitted to the teeth. We have a spark infiltrator, but it doesn't have bombard protocol yet, and it doesn't have a Gauss weapon. We have lunatic supernova, brilliant Pegasus. These guys were the rookies that became tech specialists from a while ago. They have nothing on them, and prowling Magus, a basic marksman with nothing on them. So they've got 6 grenades between them, and that's probably about it. It's not a good team. Thankfully, this is an older mission. It's an infiltration mission, and the difficulty is set when you start the mission, when you start infiltrating. So hopefully the opponents they're facing are a little bit weaker than what we've been seeing. And it's only moderate difficulty, so I think they can probably handle it. If the Warlock shows up, that'll actually make the mission easier because he'll replace a pod. It's not a great team. It's not even a good team. I'd go so far as to say it's a bad team that is evidence of something bad happening in my troop roster. But I think it's probably good enough to do the mission. I'm not as confident as I was when I sent out this mission, but I think we can do it. Okay, this Avatar Collaborator tutorial is very important. If we just kill the guy, we don't get the facility lead. We have to capture him alive.
Target location confirmed. Move to engage.
Evac across the map, no surprise there. Target's somewhere in the middle, as you do. Middle of a building, looks like it. All right, get running forward, figure out where the enemies are. Thankfully, no eyes yet. That would be very bad if we had eyes immediately off the start, like we do now. Utah and Pathfinder Studlancer, that's completely manageable. Gonna hard sprint forward over here, see if I get eyes on... I do get eyes on something else. That's not what I wanted to hear. Makes an ambush much less likely. Officer, Warlock, I think that was a mech as well on the inside. And a med drone. That's a very scary pod, for this team at least. Torpedo Avalanche is going to get running forward, get as close as he can to both pods so that whichever one comes towards us, he's ready for it. This soldier's trash. Where should I put this garbage? I'm going to say on this side. Prowling Magus is a marksman. That technically means they're good at fighting from distance, but not really. They're a squatty marksman. They're not good at fighting in general. Carbon Mile also needs to be coming forward. They need to be in cover. There is no cover tile they can reach, really. If I just sprint to here... what are the odds they walk right at me and see me, right? If I sprint to like here, I've sort of got the full cover between us, so even if they do walk right at him, I'm slightly further away and there's line of sight between us, so this should be safe, and I don't feel like I have the time to take a slower move than that. Alright, so the Muton pod walks away, but what about the Warlock pod? It walks towards us, I think. Man, if we had, like, a rocket on this team, that would have been nice. This pod, like, this team literally doesn't have... yeah, this team really just does not have a way to open, like, at all. Oh, we have a rocket on Carbon Mile. It's just that he's also the strongest unit and doesn't want to be... we're not that far from the objective. The play might be to just try to sneak in, right? The issue is that they're on the front door, blocking the way through. I'm gonna blue move like this on Supernova. We're not pulling this turn. And he can get on the roof with the intent of body blocking them so they don't come up here. And exploring next turn, and we can kind of just like slip through on the side a little bit. We can't get as far as we need to though. I'm gonna fall back and try to circle around and play this as a stealth mission. And if we do end up fighting, at least it'll just be one pod next turn. We should be safe to move here. Let me make sure I'm not body blocking for, yeah, something like that move. Unfortunately, it's out of line of sight because of pathing, or out of range, rather. Yeah, so we have one person getting here. The assault's just going to be over here so far away that they shouldn't be able to catch him. I have to stop here behind the tree so that they don't see the infiltrator. But he should be able to catch up by sprinting over the roof. I can get there. Why did I not have the ability to move right now? It's just terrifying. All right, it was just a prank. Don't worry about it. And for this last move, I guess I'm just getting behind the Infiltrator, which technically counts as a daisy chain of full cover, and they can't see him. It's just nonsense. So where's the Warlock pod moving? If they're coming right at me, it has to be a fight. If they were walking perpendicular or towards us, we'd have had a problem, but as they're going away, I think we're just good to leave. I absolutely hate stealth missions like this because I end up thinking forever. So here's the summary. We know there's a pod here. We know there's a pod somewhere over here. There's definitely one pod somewhere on my screen right now next to the objective. They could be on any floor. They could be in or out of the building, but they're going to be a pod next to the objective. But we can't go this way, because if they just pivot and go up the ladder, they'll catch us no matter where we sprinted to. So we have to go up and over. Hopefully we'll get some amount of information as we make our first moves here. No info there. We can move again to here and look over the side.
I have eyes on the enemy.
Okay, biopod with stun lancer and mech on the outside. All right, robot boy, can you get here? No, because you're running through civilians. Once you route around the civilians, the furthest you can get is here. But honestly, that's just fine by me. This seems like a slightly better position. Let's see if we can't put someone on the back of this building. Yeah, like the sniper here. Just look over the back, make sure we're not going to get pinned if I make that move. Route around those civilians and over to here. You can catch up next turn. I think the rest of these people, with the eyes we have now, are just visibly safe to run as far forward as they can. Cover won't even matter for them. I was kind of hoping you could get further than that, but oh well. Alright, so now we try to figure out where all the pods are moving around at. On moderate, I think there are only 3 pods. I think that means we know the location of all 3 pods, and we're actually in a great spot. They're still moving this way. That pod hasn't moved yet. We don't know about the other pod over there. They're patrolling towards the evac, weirdly enough. Okay, I'm gonna take first move here, see if this pod's come up top. That's the VIP. We need to get up close and use the subdue ability. That's fine. There's a ladder here. If I run here, I could be getting detected this turn. So I'm just gonna run back across, get eyes on this pod again, make sure nothing else is going on. Let everyone else catch up. We should be free to sprint here. The assault. I don't think I need eyes to the building anywhere. I think I'm good to just run forward on the assault. He's there. I want to be in blue move range of him. I think there's no reason that this wouldn't be. Everyone else is just doing their damnedest to catch up with us. In case a fight breaks out up top, I won't Capitalist up here. I won't Prowling Magus in the same general area.
On the move.
I don't think a fight has any reason to break out, but I'm worried about the possibility. Everyone's largely gathered up. We've got eyes on the ladders leading up to this part of the building. I think I've seen all 3 pods on the map. I'm pretty sure moderate on Legend is just 3 pods. But if there's 4, the 4th one is directly under us right now on top of the objective. Which is why I'm feeling very nervous. That shouldn't have eyes on anything. That doesn't mean anything. I think we're looking at a point where we need to start figuring out what the ambush is, what is 2 turn to get out, and where the pods are relevant to us when we do the ambush. So I think for this turn, the obvious correct thing with Prowling Magus is to sprint to this corner. There's no chance of it getting flanked this turn, and it'll give me immediate eyes around the corner. I need to know what's happening over here. Well, I don't know what's happening, but that means that nothing is happening right here, because we're probably going to need to run out on the ambush turn. Speaking of the ambush turn, get over here, buddy. You're the only opening this team has. I don't think it matters where precisely I put them. Down here, we're going... I think right now we just run everyone forward to the lip.
Closing on target position now.
Doesn't really matter.
Got it. Moving.
And I want to be as close to the evac as I can, and we're going to overwatch here, because we're not actually getting the ambush this turn. We're just setting up to do it next turn. Somebody can blue move down and punch the VIP next turn. I'm going to be moving back with Prowling Magus more likely than not. I'm very confident I can take on this pod. The problem is I can't take on a second pod, and as soon as I start interacting with the objective, we have to go. So this is not what I wanted to see. I wanted them to patrol this way, because now when I attack them, they're very likely going to go around the corner. We can see how bad that really is, though, by just going this direction. So I'm going to walk this way and see what I see. Okay, so if we go around with them, we'll get caught. But as long as we don't, we're fine. So let's just not go around with them. We're gonna overdrive, and now our rockets, the only opening this pod has, this team rather, are blue moves. And come on, I know you can do it. That blows up full cover they would likely run towards. That would have been inconvenient for me, so I really like that. Also, there's not too much thought that goes into this. We just fire the rocket and see where they go. The stun lancer's dead. That's the one roll that really, really mattered. Also, you bleed acid, huh? Neat. It's not where I wanted them back to be, but it's realistically fine. Viper's in a super manageable position. So the assault's probably just dropping down here. No, maybe I want to blow this open. First things first, we need this guy captured.
Seems doable.
We've made some assumptions that we've seen all the pods here, but yes, okay, good. Subdue him. And pick him up. Oh yeah, that's the next turn. Grumble, grumble. I want to shoot with Capitalist Prodigy here. I'm going to run and gun around the cover here. That should easily be within blue move, or dash range rather, for the objective.
On the move.
And the reason I want to do this is to have this die guaranteed before anyone gets in range of it. Because not only does it bleed blood, let's talk about it for a hot second, as Binding Crush, Poison Spit, Acid Grenade, Lightning Reflexes, immune to Poison, Acid, Blind, and Crystalline Poison. It doesn't say it there. That's very mean. It also explodes poison. Oh, that stuns now. Sometimes. Technically, you're no longer an important target, and we should worry about other things. But also, like, realistically, that other stuff should already be dead, right? I can just walk here, take the shot. Yeah, we saw the shotgun on the Bio Viper. We're fine. You could finish him off real quick. I'd appreciate it. I thought they exploded poison. Maybe it's a 50-50 like the pure... Nope, there we go. I was going to say maybe it's a 50-50 like the purifiers, but evidently not. Now, I'm going to walk down on the medic as well. I'm going to use the medic's grenade to open up this wall. And that'll give a direct path out for Pegasus. Additionally, rather than making Pegasus grab the body, I'm just going to grab the body here on Supernova and start moving in the correct direction. Pick him up.
Whatever. VIP in tow here.
And get moving in the right direction. That tile should already have someone on it effectively because it will be stepping out. This is all that's left. This is technically slightly more likely to not pull. But I think we're in range of evac here. I swear to God I was looking at this at the start of the turn and it was. I'm going to be furious if I'm wrong about this and get Prowling Negus killed. Because even though they're a useless soldier, they are a soldier, right? Nowhere near pulling that. We're away from the corner enough. They got a little bit further forward, but nowhere near far enough forward. We should just be good to walk out of here.
Additional contacts on approach. We're picking up an enemy transport inbound.
You can reach it. If you can reach it, you can reach it. I mean, a lot of people get poisoned and pull while getting there, but everyone gets there, and that's what matters. I don't think it's my turn. No one's gonna get action. Says no yellow alert. We just leave. We're just out of here. Everyone goes home. No one left behind, especially not the VIP. Good job, Supernova. So, if you have a trash team, the solution is just not to take a fight in the first place. Just get the objective and get out. Guess that's one way to handle it. He gets out, he pulls the other pod, it's fine, doesn't matter. That doesn't matter either. As long as you're in the medevac, you're safe. Don't worry about it. Capitalist Prodigy is out as well. And last but certainly not least, their eyes were invaluable. Prowling Magus is out. Good job, team. In and out, smooth operation.
Position compromised.
Everyone does have minor acid burns, admittedly. But that's fine. As long as you weren't burned for more than one turn, no one cares. 3 kills, flawless mission. Don't care who got MVP because no one did anything. Not that I need to check anyway. I know the MVP went to the Infiltrator. They shot their gun and shot a rocket. Everyone else took at most 1 action. As the team makes it back, I believe we have a chuck. No, we only have the 2 that I was noticing. These 2 do get promoted though. They're no longer shameful squaddies. Now they actually have some abilities. They have a lead the target and low profile. Standard stuff for snipers and techs. And we got that person, and more importantly, their information. We got the facility lead. We delayed the next facility as well. Good, good, good. Now whenever we do need to do a base assault, we don't have to worry about getting a facility lead. We just have it. And we keep on looking for rookies because we need the manpower. Lots of recovery happening. They're back. Umbral Assault. An embarrassingly long time. We did this AP mission because mobility increased by 1 on Mercury Hawk. They are sort of my secondary assault right now. I don't know who my main assault is because they keep just being busy and wounded. So I'm sort of stacking multiple assaults with mobility at the minute between Mercury Hawk and Flagship Inferno. Phoenix Point used to be on that list, but now he's, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, how much time is left before the supply drop? 6 days. We have 11 soldiers ready. God, that's so many. As Mercury Hawk is back and they meet the requirements for this, I'm going to send this mission now. I'll buy a rookie to send with them because the simple fact is it is absolutely not worth it to be sending real soldiers with them. This also costs 25 supplies to do because you just can't have a capture risk. That's not okay. So all told, the cost of this mission is 115 supplies, but I've got the money. It's worth doing. Our best rookie is a 40 on Bio Banshee. Welcome aboard. Careless Rambler at 45 is next. Actually, I think this breakthrough research is more important. We'll send that soldier on a mission eventually, guaranteed. It's fine. But I really want the ability to swap out sims so that I can use them constantly on every mission. So we're going to send Mercury Hawk on that immediately. We'll send one of our scientists as well. There's no way for me to tell how good a scientist is. The scientists technically do have stats. I just don't know if I can even see them as a human. So I'm just going to hope that this isn't one of the better scientists. They're all largely the same. There's just minor differences between them in terms of how much value they give you for research. Mercury Hawk is still going. Bio Banshee's here to negate the soldier wound risk now, which is fine by me. We should probably unequip the barracks and get this guy into a disguise. There we go. No one will know that you're with the resistance. That gets us mobility, gets us adaptive PCSs, and gets us 2 less soldiers for 20 days. Still worth. Good luck. Oh, I don't actually have noble calls yet. I would have to get this myself. Unfortunate, because I don't have the soldiers to do so. Anyway, let's scan these rookies. After these rookies are done, I think we're going to the black market to sell everything we can. What did we get? I don't recall what Vengeful Vanquishers is, and it looks like we did go on the mission to get Vengeful Vanquishers, so when it comes time to change out our cards, we'll figure out what that's about. Yeah, we're not hunting him yet. No. No. New faction order granted. Integrated warfare. Additional covert action. Recover remains of a fallen hero. What are you talking about? No one has anything I care about. Oh, I should have read that. Recover remains of a fallen hero? What are you talking about? Kevlar armor, frag grenade, sword, scattergun. He literally didn't have gear. What are you talking about? Yeah, we'll be passing on that one. We also won't be hunting the Chosen because, like, I know I need to, but no. Like, I don't have a full team to spare for that right now. All PCS effects are increased. Huh, neat. Also, we have a slot for them now. I'll take more intel if I'm allowed to add it now, but I don't think I am because it's between months. Yep, that's fine. There's really nothing to do but scan these rookies. Well, there's something to do. View retaliation site. New India retaliation, Operation Astral Justice, Objection, Haven Assault. The Warlock is there. That's fine. The Warlock's not too bad. The bigger issue is that we have 12 people. That's more than we've had for a while, though, so I'm not too beat up about it. Looking at what's available, our sparks are all at full health. Hallelujah. Oh, that's not true. Fiber Giant still hurt. But I will still gladly take a Pioneer and a pair of Infiltrators on this mission. And I'm just doing this as often as I can because I need the manpower. These guys don't get tired. and I need people to stop being tired. Lieutenant Steel Guardian has volatile mix, putting him head and shoulders above almost every other soldier I have right now. I have a Reaper for scouting, and I have a Templar. It's just generally a very good unit. We need a Marine for dangerous targets that we can't handle, so that'll be our Lieutenant Magpie. And for our last soldier, we can take a Sergeant Combat Engineer. We've got a choice for that one. We can take a Field Medic, a Field Support, or a Marine. I'm not taking Corporals, so that leaves it to Combat Engineer or Field Medic. Neither of these Combat Engineers have anything to do with our current team. There's no bond I can form. So I'm choosing to take the one at full will. And this is an idea I haven't talked about this campaign. If you're given the choice of taking someone who's at full will or someone who isn't, it's always better to take the guy at full will. The actual number doesn't matter. This could be 38 out of 53 and he has less will, or 43 out of 53 and he has more will. It doesn't matter. I care that they're at 100%. Because essentially every soldier who's at full will is not regenerating will, which means they're wasting a resource. They're getting will regeneration that's not being used. So by sending them on the mission, now that soldier's will regeneration is a resource that I'm getting, which is why I'll be taking Psycho Mantis. I just made Tempest Gauntlets for my Templar like you're supposed to, like I should have done in the past, but here we are. We are nowhere near good enough on supplies to make Reaper armor. In fact, we don't even have the money to do it. That was the last of money on those gauntlets. Alright, there's a few more pieces of gear this team could have, but I'm just tight on resources right now. We could have plated Reaper armor. We could have a second Helix rail cannon instead of this autocannon. We could upgrade the incinerator. Spark armor getting upgraded so far away that I don't even want to say that we could do it because it feels untrue. We can't actually make tier 2 gauntlets or tier 2 grenade launchers yet, unfortunately. We do have a tier 2 sawn-off shotgun though. This team actually feels really, really strong. Feels like one of the strongest teams I've fielded in the entire campaign. And it's supposed to feel like that, right? It's supposed to be like it's the next mission. We have more resources, more experience, better stuff. That's not the way it goes though. In a normal campaign of XCOM, you kind of get into the C team. In this campaign of XCOM, I have 46 units or so that have actually seen combat, and that number is going to increase over the course of time. Everyone is going into combat. I'm using like all the way down to G team in this campaign. So I very regularly am using teams much worse than the norm, and it's nice to see one that's unambiguously strong. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you next time with Operation Astral Justice. This looks like a serious mission, but we got a very, very serious team for it. We have literally no long range. Like, we do have a Marine and 2 Infiltrators. We have a good mid-range core. But the plan is very clearly just to rush in, right? Get in range for these rockets. Get in range for all of this shit. And speaking of, honestly, I think the Gremlin Mark II for better combat protocol isn't worth it. I'd rather have a basic spark bit for a second rocket. Because this team's just aggressive as hell. That's how I've been playing everything. I barely use sniper rifles this campaign because that means you have less mobility. You take 2 actions to shoot, you fall behind. And my teams have been just going incredibly aggressively, super mobile. And this team is very much that. I fully expect Magpie to fall behind and be less useful than the other guys might be. But I'm confident. This will be one of the hardest missions we've had, but it's also one of the best teams we've fielded, so I'm looking forward to next time. One way or another, it's going to be fun. But for now, I'm done. I'm Rather Coherent. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, do the algorithm stuff. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.